Hi, I'm Tim Rajeff, and I'm going to show you how to service and disassemble and reassemble our Bravo reels. There's three sizes of Bravo reels, a 7/9, an 8/10, and a 10/12, and they all use the same internal components, so it doesn't matter what size you have. This is going to help you out. Got a few minutes ahead of us, so open your favorite beverage and check it out. If you have any questions, you can always call us, and we have full sets of spare parts. So if you drop something, just let us know and we'll send you a replacement. I always have a piece of paper towel in front of me, a little bit of reel lube. You'll need a penny or the tool that comes with the reel, but there's not a lot of stuff to mess up here. So let's get started. Remove the spool. And in doing so, you'll notice the spool parts don't fall apart. So I'm going to slide that out of the way. Now we're going to use the penny or the tool and unscrew the cone. And we're going to set that off to the side. I slide off the one-way roller clutch. And again, this is how you switch it from left-hand rind to right hand. So a piece of paper towel helps you collect all the parts. You won't lose anything, and it also helps you from getting grease on your countertop. So without any more tools, all I do is I loosen the main retainer. Make sure your drag is not set tight. So loosen the drag on the back of the reel till it's loose. Flip it back over. Now I'm going to open the main drag washer chamber. So I take that and unscrew that. Now this is where the stack of carbon fiber and stainless steel discs are kept. Dump them all out, and if you can see inside here, you'll see there's no more washers or any of the stainless steel parts. Let's lay those out so that you can't mess them up. And there are four carbon fiber washers that are identical, and then there's two stainless steel washers that are square and three that are not square. And so these systems are designed to run dry, so you don't want grease or dirt or anything inside here. So once I've disassembled this, if your drag is not operating smoothly, maybe water or dirt or grease got inside the drag system. There are O-rings on this reel that'll prevent that, but with age, a lot of times the O-rings begin to sag, and maybe they won't be perfect at preventing water from getting in your reel. So if your reel gets wet, if you get grease or anything on these discs, these carbon fiber discs, then they won't have the same capacity to stop and the drag will be compromised. So once I've dumped these all out, I take them and I dry them and I make sure there's no grease or anything. So it's a pretty simple repeat process. The way the reel comes apart, there's no way to put the wrong part back together. So there's, again, three of the stainless steel washers with round holes. So I'm going to put the first washer in, and when you line it up properly, it'll settle in because of the two little ends on the side, little points on the washer that fit into the frame. Then it's going to be a metal washer, a carbon fiber washer, a metal washer. The next one is going to be square holed in the middle, then a carbon fiber washer, then a round holed one. And again, we're going to settle these round holed washers inside the two notches. Carbon fiber washer, square washer, carbon fiber, and then finally the last round washer. So now you have all those discs lined up. What turns them? Well, we have to return the indexing part here with that square end on it. So that's going to go over the shaft here. There's some O-rings in there to keep the water and dirt out. And then I turn it while I'm pushing down. And there it goes. It found the two square spots on those stainless steel washers. So now that that's all the way down, I'm going to go ahead and close the drag system back up with this nice tool-free system. So basically, I've just reassembled the reel. And this, you got to make sure it's fully seated. And again, make sure the drag is not tight. If it's tight, you won't be able to reassemble that section of the reel. So I've covered up some O-rings inside the reel. There's one other O-ring there, but basically I've finished fixing the whole front half of the reel. Now, if you want to get to the back side of the reel, flip it over. And as I mentioned before, this thing comes with a tool. You can use this tool or a flat screwdriver. And I just pry the access screw cap off, and now there's a screw inside there. So I'll just use a screwdriver. It's just a little more convenient for me. and I'm going to unscrew the drag knob retaining screw. Set that off to the side. Now I'm just going to unscrew the drag knob and dump all those parts out. So you can see there's no more parts here, it's just the frame. There are 3 little posts, and those can only go in one way. They're kind of mushroom shaped. And with my big clumsy fingers, I'm going to go ahead and use a pair of tweezers here. And I'm going to put, normally you would clean all the grease out and anything in there, and then I'll just put these 3 posts back in. Those are what the drag pushes against to tighten from the drag knob back into the main reel. So I'll put my second one in. I'll just do it without them. And again, the back of this, where these fittings, where these thrust pins go, doesn't need grease. So what I was doing, I opened this up just to clean all the junk out of here, or if you had, again, water get in there, or sand or dirt or something like that. So once those 3 pins are in there, I am going to drop this washer back in. This pushes against the pin, and it's got 2 flat spots that line up with the parts on the frame. So I put that on there and I turn it left or right until it settles into its notch, which is right there. Then the drag knob has this little red washer, or in some cases it might have been black. It's the spring that the drag knob pushes against to provide thrust against the reel. There's a little spring-loaded pin down in here that provides the click for the drag knob. That should just get a little touch of grease or oil. And then this washer should get a touch of grease or oil. You can just use some real lube or some light-duty grease, lithium grease. Some people use waterproof grease. The other thing that you might want to lubricate is this red O-ring here, and that'll just make it easier to turn the drag knob. So I'm going to spin the drag knob back down. You can hear the click. Tighten it down pretty far before you attempt to put this screw back in. So we've now opened both the back and the front of the reel. We've put lubrication on the drag knob O-ring and washers. And what I forgot to tell you is on the front of the reel, just use very little grease or oil and lubricate the main shaft where it receives that stainless steel square bushing. Okay, I'm going to put this cap back on, and this little cap helps seal the back of the reel. So there, I've just taken the whole reel apart and reassembled it. On the front of the reel, there are 2 pins that are spring-loaded, and these are the 2 little smallest parts that you might lose. So like I do, take a piece of paper towel and put it down. These would be good to get a little dab of grease or oil, and they fit right into their little pin. So that pin and the pin on this side index against the bottom of your cone, and that's what gives you the clicker sound. So we're all set, ready to go. I'll put a little bit of lubrication on the shaft, and the only thing in this reel that is not stainless steel or aluminum is the one-way roller clutch. So all reels that use these clutches need to have some lubrication or grease on this clutch. So if you fill this reel up with water and it's old and you haven't serviced it, this is going to rust. And so you need to make sure you pull this reel apart on the cone and periodically grease or lubricate that one-way roller clutch. So I've slipped that back on. Again, put your finger over the top of this, put the cone down, and then that'll help me line up that point. So I just reassembled the whole reel. So that's 100% soup to nuts. There's nothing to take off anywhere else. We've just completely disassembled and serviced the Bravo reel. So I know that's a lot to repeat, so if you have any questions, give us a holler. You can, the schematics that come with the reel give you a full breakdown on what I just covered. It tells you how to switch it from left to right hand wind, and then there's a full drawing of every little part that I just took apart. So good luck, have fun, stay safe. Thanks for your time, and I appreciate it. And let us know if there's anything you need.